Hi, welcome to Trader Compass Technical Analysis Learning Program, second series. In the first series, we discussed about candlesticks, basics of candlesticks and how to read them. By using candlesticks, what you can understand exactly and how to define trend, volatility kind of things we discussed. The second series, uh, till now we discussed about risk reward ratio and what is the importance of risk reward ratio, and again risk management and money management. This topic we covered in first two sessions, right? Now today we are going to cover some part of support resistance levels and supply demand. What exactly these are? What is support resistance level? Is it the same or different? What is supply zone? What is demand zone? What is the use of them? Right? Today we are going to deal with this. Now, before I start this session, I just want to have a discussion of some general topic. See, in stock market, especially for intraday trading, forget about the investors, because investors, yes, it's a win and win formula. Everybody can make money in a long run. Let's suppose if 1,000 people invested in Reliance 10 years back, then all the 1,000 people are making money now, because as time goes on, premiums go, as time goes on, share values increases, and in the same way investors will get money. But when it comes to intraday traders, it's a zero sum game. Intraday traders, a zero sum game. What do you mean by zero sum game? That means here if someone is winning, then the other person is losing it. Intraday trading, remember guys, stock market is not a money making machine. It never prints money or it never generates money. It only transfers money from one person to another person. Stock market is just money transferring machine. That's it. It transfers money from the person who is less skilled or no skill to the person who is more skilled and more disciplined. That's all. Got my point? Stock market is a money transferring machine, not money generating machine. That means what exactly it does? It only transfers money. It neither generates nor eats the money. So what does that mean? If 100 people are trading in intraday, then 100 people cannot win stock market. Statistics says that 95% of the people are losing in stock market. This is a bigger amount. In fact, 98% of the people are losing. 98% of intraday traders are losing, only 2% are gaining. Let's suppose if each one of these people invested 100 rupees, then the total amount will become 10,000 rupees. In this 10,000 rupees, all the 98 people are losing, or 95 people are losing. That means remaining 5 people are gaining 10,000 rupees. Let's suppose in equal partition, if we separate 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. So the people who invested 100 rupees are gaining 2,000 rupees. But look at the number, only 5 members out of 95. Remaining all 95 members are losing money. Why? Because they are less skilled, because they don't know where exactly support resistance zones are, they don't know where supply demand zones are, they don't know where to enter in a trade, they are not disciplined, they don't follow risk reward ratio, they don't have control on their emotions. These are the setbacks. They don't even know what exactly a trading job means. They feel that many of the people, I have seen that many of the people, they feel that stock market is nothing but a data entry job. Just punch the order, buy order, sell order, that's it, over. That is not trading, that is data entry job. Trading is not punching orders, my dear friends. Trading is, you should know what you are doing, you should know the risk what you are taking. It's not like somebody told me buy a script and I bought it, somebody told me to sell a script and I sold it. No, it's not that case. Now people think that there is a 50-50 chance. Either, see, only two things are there, either buy or sell. So only 50-50 chances are there. When 50-50 chances are there, why these many people are losing? Why these many people are losing? If you look at in my past video, even I said the same thing, only buying and selling, so either you win or lose. No, there is one more step called either winning or losing or exiting at cost to cost, coming out of without profit, without loss. Yes or no? Many people might have experienced this. See, when your view is not correct, if your view is correct, you are going to win. If your view is wrong, then you are going to lose. If you feel that there is something fishy and you are not confident, your emotions are not making you to sit, your adrenals are pumping, then what you do? Instead of losing money, it's better I quit this trade. And you come out of cost to cost. So what are the exact chances of this? Only 33%, 33%, 33%. It's not 50-50%, my dear. It's just 1/3. So 1/3 only you can win, and 2/3 there is a possibility to lose. Of course, you may say that, sir, if I exit at cost to cost, what is the loss of me? I'm not going to lose anything. No, you are going to pay brokerage, right? From where it is going? From your pocket only. Let it be 20 rupees or 50 rupees or 100 rupees or 1000 rupees. What if you make 5 trades in a day? 5 into 20, 100. In 220 sessions, 100 into 220, 20 to 25,000 rupees over a 1 year span. It's not small amount, guys. It is a big amount. It's a big amount. And look at the chances. 2/3 are against you. Only 1/3 is supporting you. So intraday traders need to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. That's the reason they fail more. The people, they don't think, see, no trainer will teach you all these kind of things. They say that 50-50 chance. No, that is not 50-50 chance. That is only 1/3 winning chances and 2/3 losing chances. Okay, now your winning success rate became 35 to 40%. Let's calculate it as 40% for easy calculations. Okay, so now if someone is telling me that, sir, I am using a good strategy of 60% and 1:1 risk reward, see, you are thinking that you are following a 60% winning strategy, but how many times you are exiting at cost to cost? How many times you are exiting before hitting the target? Because you may see reversal and you may exit. So that's how your probability is coming down. It's pulled down. Got it? So you need to improve it in a better way. How do you improve? Take a better entry and sit calm. Then tell me one thing, guys. How do you define which is better entry? Okay, let's, before jumping into the better entry, let's finalize this. Okay, so now only winning chances of 40%. In this case, if you are trading with a winning percentage of 40%, then at least your risk reward should be 1:2. 1:2. So if you make 5 trades, out of 5 you are going to win 2 and lose 3. In 3 losing trades you are going to lose 3k, and 2 winning trades, sorry guys, in fact throat is paining badly. Out of 3 trades you are going to lose 3k, but out of 2 trades you are going to win 4k. So in a net you are making 1000k profit. Oh sorry, 1k profit. Okay, so you should have minimum 1:2 risk reward. That's why I mentioned it very clearly in my previous video also. At least follow 1:2 risk reward, so that in either market, in any kind of market, you are going to win. You are going to win in a long run, not in day and not in particular trade, but in long run certainly you are going to win. Now if we come back to the entry points, what is right entry? How do we define this is the right entry? So from this I just want to conclude, intraday trading is a zero sum game, and the odds are very less. Only 1/3, 2/3 are against you. You need to be very careful and very disciplined. You should certainly follow 1:2 risk reward. Okay, risk reward we follow, and then risk management we follow. Yes, success rate we know 40% only. That is perfect. Now what is the important point? I said EPs, entry points, are more and more important. It is going to decide whether you are going to win this trade or lose this trade. Now how do you define which is the best entry point? Remember guys, acha, let me ask you this simple question. If you are buying a stock or if you are selling a stock, what does that mean? What do you anticipate? What do you anticipate? What do you expect to happen in this particular stock? Let's suppose if someone has bought share A, then they expect it to go up. Yes or no? If they bought at 100 rupees, then they expect it to go 101, 102, 105, 110, 111, some kind of above levels where he bought it. Now, if someone sold at the same price of 100, now what does he anticipate? Obviously, he'll think that it has to go down somewhere around 99, 98, 97 or 90. See, at the same position, one might be thinking this is the best price to buy, and one might be thinking this is the best price to sell. Both are correct. Both are correct in their own perceptions. Now, who is going to win? Tell me, are you going to pull a stock down or going to push a stock up? Is it possible by you? By you means the people who are watching this video are the people who are trading for their regular income, are the people who are kind of you and me. We are known as retail traders. Do you think that retail traders can pull a stock down or can push a stock up? It's not a 1 2 5 10 100,000 members. Even if 10,000 members stick together, also they plan together and they try to push a stock up or they try to push a stock down, is it possible? If possible, how much time they can hold? So let's suppose Reliance share, which is trading at 1500 rupees, let's suppose 1000 people together made a plan to push it up. 1000 people plan, okay, and each one is going to buy 100 shares, let's suppose. So 100 shares is nothing but 1.5 lakh rupee. So they are dumping 1.5 lakh rupee each one, and in that way 1000 people are dumping funds. So what is the total number of liquid? 1000 into 100 shares, which is nothing but 1 lakh shares. 1 lakh shares. Look at the quantity of Reliance volume. How many shares will be traded in a day? It is in crores. So even if 1000 people each one dumping 1.5 lakh rupee, also they cannot even move 1 rupee or 2 rupees of Reliance share either up or down. It's very clear. You accept it or not? You have to. There is no other way. You have to accept. Okay. So retail traders cannot move a stock in any direction. They have to follow something else. What is that something else? That is big money. Now this big money or smart money or big investors or big fishes, sharks, or whatever you call them, they are the people who are deciding market. They are the people who are deciding the price of a share, whether it has to go up or it has to come down. They are going to decide it. What you can do, you can just observe them, follow with them, have a shake hand with them, and go with those people. You cannot go against to these people. If they want to pull this stock down and you are on buy side, you are gone. If they want to push this stock up and you are on sell side, no matter whatever retail traders are doing, they push it up. They can pump it. They can pump thousands of lakhs of crores of rupees of money. They dump crores of rupees money. See, you are dumping only lakhs, hardly 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupee, 2 lakh rupee, 5 lakh rupee. Try to get the logic what I'm trying to tell you. We are just trading with some 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. They are the people who are trading with some millions, billions, some 100 crores, 150 crores, 200 crores of huge money. Now if you lose, you are going to lose how much it will be? It will be very less, maybe 1 lakh rupee or maybe 1000 rupees or maybe 10,000 rupees. It is just a peanut for them. But what if they lose? They lose in crores. They lose in multiples of crores. So who will be very careful? Who will be deciding? Who will be trying to take the control over the market? Obviously these big people. No matter where you are, no matter what you are doing, no matter whether you buy or sell, they will be safeguarding their money. They will be very cautious. what is happening to their script. If they want to push it down, they sold at 100 rupees and retailers are trying to push it up, they come and sell it again. They do brutal selling. No retail trader can survive. Now how do you know this? How to identify where these big people are coming, where they are getting activated? That is how, that is the main point. That is where the concept comes, support resistance zones or supply demand zones. So you try to understand and accept this, that we are not going to decide the market move. No, we means the retail traders, we are not the deciders of market. The big people are going to decide the market. Now let's suppose if there are two levels, 100 and 120. Okay, now the stock is at 110 level. 110 level, these people are buyers, they want market to push up. These are big people I am talking about, not retail traders. Okay, if I say buyers, they are big people. Okay, I'll make it more clear. Big people are sitting at 100 and they are trying to market up, they are trying to push market up. And big money again, there they are sitting at 120 levels, they are trying to push it down. Now if it is at 110 rupees, will they bother? Neither this 100 people bother, nor this 120 people bother. They are least bothered, they sit calm, they are not worried. But once the stock reaches to 120 and it's trying to climb up, will they sit calm? Because these people, they dump crores of rupees money, hundreds of crores, they don't want this stock to go high. So if it goes high, they have to book huge losses, huge, very huge losses. So they don't want to move this stock up. So what they do, they try to push it down. You got my point? They try to push it down. Remember this line, guys. They try to push it down when it reaches to 120. Okay, they pushed it down and it's slowly coming. It came to 100. Now what buyers do? Will these big people will become? No. They know that if the stock goes below to this level, they are going to hit huge losses. What they try to do? They try to push it up. They try to push it up. So this is how the game will be going on. Okay, when big people are at selling level, they try to push it down, and when big people are at buying level, they try to push it up whenever stock reaches to their zones or their levels. Okay, why do I repeat zones and levels again and again? Because levels valid for intraday, zones valid for positional. Zones cannot be valid for intraday, because in intraday you cannot take 10-15 points zone. See, if 20 points zone is there, let's suppose you are at 115, from 115 sellers will get activated till 120, no? So they will be waiting till 122. Once it is above 122, they give up. But till these 7 points, they will be waiting, they try to push it down. So when the positional traders will be active in this zone, then this is called a zone. For intraday, they will be more active at 120, so this is called level. So there are two kind of things, one is for intraday, one is for positional. Of course you can club both of them, don't get confused. Okay, you try to understand the logic. So big people will be sitting at some levels, and whenever it comes to their level, they try to safeguard their positions. That is simple, even a third class student can understand this, right? Now how do you know this where these people are sitting? Let's suppose we know that they are sitting at 100 and they are sitting at 120. As we know that the stock goes in waves. Now slowly the stock went up, and there it made a gravestone dose. So that's a clear indication sellers are, it's at selling level or resistance level. Resistance level means which is opposed by the sellers. That means they are not allowing to go up, they're trying to push it down, that is where you can take entry. So let's suppose if it is at 118, take an entry at 118. Then what will be your SL? Your SL will be where the sellers are sitting, 120, because who is with you, who is there in your team? You are on selling side, so sellers will be your teammates. Where the big cellmates are sitting, where the big people who are in selling mode sitting, 120. So just go a bit deeper, that means 121, take it as SL. That means whenever the stocks goes high from 120 level, they are trying to push it down, so give some breathing space to the stock and keep your SL level as 121. What will be your target? Your target will be where your opponents are sitting, where your opponents are sitting at 100 levels. So you try to book at 100 levels are bit early to that, because selling mode they are activating at 115. In the same way, buying mode they keep one buffer, they may be activated at 104, 103. So keep a target of 104. Right? So this should be your, once the confirmation has been done, because you need to get the confirmation that yes, sellers are dominating, buyers are coming into the picture, then only you should do this. That we will discuss in trading entry exit SL. Okay, now at present we concentrate about these levels. Now when you will buy, let's suppose the stock came down to this level, 100 level, and there it has shown a reversal sign, like there is one candle, red candle, and after that there is a small bullish harami. Okay, there is an indication with the bullish harami, that means there is a reversal in the up downtrend. Okay, let's wait. Once the stock closes about this level, that means about to the 104, now buyers start dominating and sellers give up. That means your entry becomes at 104 and your SL becomes 100, below to the 100, let's make it as 99. Now you are in buying mode, so your supporters, that means your teammates are sitting at 100, that's why the SL should go below to this 99, and your target will become where your opponents are sitting. They are sitting at 120, so let it be your target as 119 or 118. Okay, now the question is, this is very clear. In a simple mode I can write it like this. This is where entry is, SL is nothing but your supporters are your teammates. Your teammates are sitting. If you are buyer, where buyers are sitting. If you are a seller, where sellers are sitting. And target will be where your opponents are sitting. That is perfect. Sir, this concept we understood. Now how do we identify these levels? What is called as support risk. That's the main important thing. Now we should find out support risk. Support resistance levels, these can be two things, or in other words rather, let's make it as two things. Support resistances can be derived in two ways. One is called as static support resistance, the other one is called as dynamic support resistance. Support or resistance. See guys, these two are not different, they are same, they are one and same. Okay, they are in two ways. One is static, the other one is dynamic. What is static support resistance, what is dynamic resistances, how to define these all, that we will discuss. Okay, support, static support resistance and dynamic support resistance. Now before jumping into this, let me make it very clear, support resistances are not different levels, they are the same level. let's suppose if these are different levels, the stock is at this level 70, okay, this is the 60, this is 80, this is 100, and that's the higher level of 120. Now let's suppose if the stock is trying to cross 80, they are sellers are sitting here, they don't allow it to go. Of course, not only sellers, even buyers are sitting there, but sellers are dominating it. Try to understand that. No place only sellers will sit or only buyers will sit. There will be sellers, there will be buyers, but who is dominating that session or who is dominating that level is what it matters. Now in this case, at 80 levels, let's suppose sellers are dominating more, then it will come down, okay. Then after couple of sessions, again it went up, again sellers dominated, it came down, again it went up. Now how much time they can stop it? Not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, they have to give up, right? Now sellers give up and buyers started dominating, so the stock started going up. Once the stock goes up, there will be no more sellers will be shifted to this level. That doesn't mean that sellers all are gone, no, that means they shift their range. Now the session at 80 rupees, buyers will be dominating, it will be like, you know, your heart valves, it is unidirection. If this is the level, if stock comes to this particular level, it will try to stop, it will not allow to go up, but once it allows to go up, then it will never allow to fall below to the level. See, it's trying to push it up. So previously the same level which is acting as a resistance, now it became as support. That means support resistance both are same level, it is one particular level. If the stock is below to this level, then they try to push it down, they never allow to go up. But once buyers dominated and pushed it up, then the same resistance level will be shifted as support, and it will never allow the stock to fall down, it will try to push it up, right? You try to understand this concept today. We see 1-2 examples, and then tomorrow I'll deal with what is static resistance, what and support, and what is dynamic support and resistance levels, how to identify them in charts, how to draw those levels and all. Tomorrow we discuss. Okay, let's see a few examples of this, how it will be. My study is not there, we will see that. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, some other stuff. Promoter. Perfect. Now see, if you look at this particular stock, and if I draw a level here, again here and here, let's see from here. Okay, previously the stock tried to go up, it did not allow, came down, again went up, did not allow, sellers are dominating, came down, again. Here somehow they could able to break it, see, with good volume. This is what I am trying to tell you, there this matters. Now buyers started dominating, so this resistance level stock could able to close about this. Now this level will become as a support. Next time, of course, immediately sellers tried to push it down, see, even there they pushed it down, but look at the volume, no volume at all. So this is not a clear indication for the downside. Again, next day there is a bullish harami and they started pushing it up. See, beautifully they pushed it up. Now till this level, that means since May 2014 to September 2014, almost this 4-5 months, this level 2733 level acted as a resistance level for Hero Moto. The same 2733 started acting as support after September 2014. See, the stock tried to fall down. No, buyers came here. They pushed it up because they started dominating it. Now they are investing huge money. They never allow it to fall because they are going to face huge losses. Okay, now it started coming down again. They pushed it up. See, it's acting as support. It went up, profit booking came, coming down, coming down, but see, there again buyers tried to push it up, but look at this volume, huge spike volume. Now sellers started dominating. If you see this, there buyers started dominating with huge volume. Here sellers dominating with a huge volume. Okay, now till February 2015, from September 2014 to February 2015, almost September, October, November, December, 4 months, January, February, 2 months, 6 months. For this 6 months, the same level acted as support. Now we turned into resistance level. There is no rocket science in drawing these levels. Tomorrow I'll teach you very easy. Okay, now the same level started as acting resistance. Now see, the stock tried to go up, pushed it down, again tried to go up. Look at this beauty. They tried to push it up, no resistance, pushed it down, again pushed it down, again pushed it down. See how many times buyers are trying to break this level since February 2015 to almost August. 6 months they are trying, 7 months they are trying. September, October, again they tried in October, no success. November, no success. December, no success. Again next year 2016 January, no success. February, no success. Finally at the end of March, I think, yes, in March they could able to push it up. Look at these buying volumes, huge buying. Finally they could able to close. So almost 1 year 1 month sellers dominated this. You may ask me, sir, how positionally they can dominate? Positionally no one can short it now. Yes, that is true, but derivative stock, right, they know how to play with this. They never allow the stock to go up. If it goes up, they need to book losses in their futures, in their derivatives. So they try to manipulate this. Okay, now once this level, see all your doubts, I am only thinking what you may get a doubt and I am explaining that again. If you have any doubts, you can send it to my Telegram ID, which is mentioned below, or even in our Telegram channel it is given clearly. You can join to our Telegram channel for live updates. Also we do give live updates there. You can check it up, or you can give comments, you can give suggestions, you can ask your queries there. If you have any doubt, you can send a message to me in my personal window. Okay, now first 5 months sellers dominated, again 4-5 months buyers dominated, then huge 1 year 1 month 13 months sellers dominated. Now after a long time buyers taken the grip into the stock, buyers taking commanding, they took the in charge position. Now see, they started pushing it up. Now look at this, they never allow to go down. Now this level again acts as a support. Now okay, it went into new zone, it could not survive there, came down, tried to breach this level again, failed. Here sellers are dominating. Now again there they could able to breach this level. Now buyers dominated here, so buyers, now buyers they shift from this level to this level, and sellers will shift from this to this. Now again they pushed it down, now they try to, buyers try to dominate, buyers taking control. Here buyers pushed it up, buyers give up. After 2 months buyers give up, sellers taken. Now as I told you, once buyers give up here, that means they come to next below level, so they are dominating here. Buyers dominating here, sellers dominating here. Now buyers pushed it up, sellers pushed it down, buyers pushed it up, sellers pushed it down, buyers push up, sellers push down. See, this is the beauty. So what do you need to do? You need to take a trade when you see the reversal at buyer zone. See here, there is a hammer. Take an entry with this SL 3362 SL, and where your target, this is your target, book it here somewhere around 3740. Your entry is at here 3450 to 3750, almost 300 points with an SL of just 100 points, 100 points, no, 70 points, 70 points SL, 300 points target, 1:4 risk reward, beautifully done. And once this is there, then you can short it. I'll tell you, sir, there is a consolidation, how to find out this consolidation and all that I'll deal in next classes. Okay, entry, exit, SL and all those things. At present, you try to concentrate on support resistance level. This is how the support resistance levels act. See, till this time, buyers are here, pushed it up. Now sellers dominated. See, volume, look at the volume confirmation. Sellers started dominating. Now buyer shifted to below levels, these levels. See how nicely it fell down from 34 to 27, 700 points down, 700 points down. Now again, when you see the reversal, buying coming, see, started taking a reversal and went up to from where it started, almost it reached to the same level. That's how your support resistance levels will help you. Now the problem is, retail traders, they want to make money fast. They take entry by seeing at this. Sir, there is a reversal. Shall I take an entry here? Yeah, you can take an entry here. But where is your SL? Where are your supporters? Where is your team? Your team is sitting here. So almost you are 100-150 points far away. So it's a bit risky. See, in this case, if you see this, after looking at this Marubozu, if someone has taken an entry here, it just immediately reversed. 1 session, 2 sessions, it started reversing. That's why I said don't go far away from your supporters. Try to take entry as close as to your supporters or your teammates. If you are buying, try to buy at bottom levels. If you are selling, try to sell at higher levels. Don't do the trades in the middle. You may see this. There is a reversal, good buying. Sir, there is a reversal, good buying. I want to buy it here. That is your wish, my dear. You want to buy it. But where is your team sitting? Here. And where is your target? Just about to this. Your opponents are very close to you. See, they started pushing it down very badly. They pushed it. That's how your entry point matters. Now with this, I want to conclude. Today we discussed in investing mode, positional trades, long-term investing mode. Only two possibilities: either win or lose, and there you can make profits. There you can everybody can make profit. But in intraday, it's a zero-sum game. Only few win, the remaining people lose. Majority of the people, they lose, and only minor people, say 2% to 5% people are going to win. Why? Because the probability, the odds are against to the any trader, any intraday trader. Because if you are an intraday trader and you are initiating a buy, then 1/3 is supporting you and 2/3 is against you. So odds are against you for intraday trading. That's the reason you should make sure that your risk reward is good, your risk management is good, money management is good, and you take entry where your teammates or supporters are there. Because retail traders cannot move the market either up or down. They have to wait for big money, where the big money people are sitting, where the smart money is sitting. That is most important point. So you need to identify where the big money is sitting. That is called support resistance level or supply demand zones. Once you find those levels, this is not different levels, the same level where buyers and sellers are sitting, it acts as resistance when the stock is below to this. Once it crosses to the level, then the same level will act as support, and it will never allow the stock to fall down. Never means not forever, for the majority of the time. Okay, that's called support resistance zones. Now support resistance levels are same, but they are in two different types. One is static support resistance zone, or static support resistance, and the one is dynamic support resistances. Tomorrow we are going to deal with what is static support resistances and what all come into this, what are dynamic support resistances, what all come into this, how we can use them in layman's. if you ask me, see now whatever the lines I draw here, this is all static. That's static, right? For years together, you go to anywhere, even in future also they validate. They will be they will be acting as support resistance levels even in the future also. Okay, because these are all statics. They are not moving. They are constant. These are static resistance, support resistance levels. The other one is dynamic support resistance level. We are going to deal it tomorrow. Okay guys, don't waste your time, concentrate on study, try to look at the charts, make as many, look at charts as many as possible, and try to implement whatever you are learning here. The more you practice, the more you become successful. Okay, see you tomorrow.